попал.
This is funny. Russians shot down a Russian drone for 10 million rubles, $94,000, after mistaking it for a Ukrainian drone. Russian Z-blogger Olga Kurlayeva published a post yesterday in which soldiers of the Belgorod Territorial Defense Forces from the Bars detachment allegedly fired at a Ukrainian Furia reconnaissance UAV, but later, other Z-bloggers found out that it was a friendly drone of soldiers from the Russian North grouping of troops, which cost more than 10 million rubles. Kurlayeva deleted her post.
Я вижу тоже, да.
Попал.
Летает по пивишке.
Что сбили сейчас?
Поближе стань.
Что сбили?
Сбили фурию разведывательный самолетного типа, разведчик летал.
It was a pretty good Friday anyway. New record in Russian losses with yesterday's 2,030 men, and the rolling blackouts here are now down to 8 out of 24 hours per day. A significant part of the Russian losses are taken in repeated attacks in the Kursk region. Here are examples of how the 225th Ukrainian Assault Battalion grinds Russian attacks and turns the Russian advance route into the road of death. Recent reports indicate massive Russian losses in the Kursk region as Ukrainian forces target critical military infrastructure with precision strikes. Key facilities, including ammunition depots and airfields, have been heavily damaged, resulting in significant equipment and personnel losses. These setbacks are not only straining Russian military logistics, but also exposing vulnerabilities deep within their territory. Mikhailo Drapati has been appointed the new commander of the land forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Ole Apostol has become the deputy commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Zelensky announced. A young major general celebrated for his role in the defense of Kharkiv and Vovchansk in the current war, as well as being a recognized hero from the first Russian invasion a decade ago. Drapati gained fame in Ukraine from a video dated May 9, 2014, showing his armored personnel carrier breaking through a street barricade in Mariupol, which was under the control of the Russian PMC Wagner at the time. Partners have fully equipped only 2.5 brigades out of the 10 promised, Zelensky said in an interview with Sky News. He added that our partners are talking about mobilization, but the real problem is with the 10 brigades that they have not equipped. F-16s destroyed 7 cruise missiles that were flying over civilian infrastructure 2 nights ago. Putin believes that we are part of Russia. No one, even during this war, has been able to change his mind and his mind. Kiev must be at the same level or stronger than the Russian Federation to enter into peace negotiations. If we talk to Putin, then only with a plan. We cannot give him a chance to give us an ultimatum. He cannot give us an ultimatum because he is a murderer and a terrorist. Putin wants to destroy everything Ukrainian in Ukraine that is connected with Ukraine and Ukrainians. These dictators' ideas are reminiscent of Adolf Hitler, and he will follow them to the end. Ukrainian Mobile Air Defense Group destroys Shahed at close range with fire from Zu-23. Let's get back to events in Georgia, where people are fighting against Russian influence. Belarusian propagandist Azar Yonok says that Georgia should follow the Belarusian path, use water cannons and batons on people who disagree with being in union with Russia.
Georgia is going down the Belarusian path, and Belarusification, as they called it, is beginning in Georgia. Actually, the correct term is Belarusization, but anyway, so Belarusification of Georgia. By the way, we have a video showing how it should happen. Water cannons on all this scum that took to the streets. Beton beat that Georgian French collaborator with the French passport and kick all of them out of here. All these screaming women, everyone under the rug like they did in Belarus, so nobody dares to speak out. And then alliance with Russia, tourism, investment, future, no war, Belarusification.
Special forces began pushing protesters back from the Parliament of Georgia on Rustaveli Avenue. Police and special forces began to forcefully disperse protesters in Tbilisi. Massive protests have erupted in Georgia, with thousands taking to the streets to oppose what they see as increasing ties between their government and Moscow. Demonstrators are accusing the ruling Georgian Dream Party of undermining the country's European aspirations and aligning too closely with Russia, a move seen as betraying Georgia's sovereignty and democratic values. The unrest was sparked by controversial government decisions perceived as pro-Kremlin, including policies that critics argue stifle press freedom and suppress dissent. Protesters are waving EU and Georgian flags, demanding the resignation of officials they believe are steering the country away from its pro-Western path. The demonstrations have drawn parallels to Georgia's historical resistance to Russian influence, highlighting deep-seated fears of Moscow's interference in the region. With tensions rising, the situation underscores the fragile balance in Georgia's political landscape as citizens push back against any perceived erosion of their independence and democratic freedoms. Fyodor Kudakormov, a photographer and correspondent of paper Kartuli media outlet, reported that he was beaten by police officers. Footage taken by Fyodor shows that special forces began to push the protesters back. Video from Georgia with the injured journalist of TV Perveli. In Georgia, protests against the pro-Moscow government have seen a troubling escalation, with police using force to suppress dissent, particularly targeting journalists. Numerous reports have emerged of journalists being attacked while covering the demonstrations, with police allegedly using batons, tear gas, and rubber bullets indiscriminately. Footage from the protests shows media personnel being physically assaulted, their equipment destroyed, and some even detained despite clearly identifying themselves as press. These actions have drawn widespread condemnation from human rights organizations, which accuse the Georgian government of attempting to silence critical voices and intimidate the media. The crackdown on journalists underscores a broader erosion of democratic freedoms in Georgia, where freedom of the press has historically been a cornerstone of its democratic aspirations. Such violence not only stifles independent reporting, but also signals a disturbing shift toward authoritarian practices amid growing public unrest.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.